Hey, I'm Shay Scarlett. I'm here to interview Ted Hollembeak about his physical activity.
My name is Ted Hollembeak. I'm an attorney here in Emporia and a semi-retired attorney and a municipal judge here in Emporia. And I have a private office that I still do some legal work for old clients, but I only work for about 18 hours a week. And I'm 71 years old, born on November 21st, 1940.
Okay, so you told me earlier that you got your workout in today.
Yeah.
What did that consist of?
I belong to Genesis Health Club, so I usually work out 4 or 5 times a week, about an hour and a half on cables, weights, free weights, machines. I'm kind of into buying all kinds of gadgets. I've got to try to improve or keep me from growing old. I have bands, they're called K-bands, which increases your strength in your hips to hopefully make you faster and stronger and run faster. And then I have at my home, then I have the Total Gym that Christy Brinkley and Chuck Norris do. I have that down in the basement, so if I miss my workout at Genesis, I can always make up for it in the evening at home. And I have weights there too. I just got bands at home. I've got all kind. I'm kind of a workout freak, so I don't like to miss it. So I have everywhere I go, I have something where I can catch up and try to do it. So
awesome.
Also play competitive tennis on a local and national level, and so we try to go to tournament. I just got back from a tournament in Joplin, Missouri last weekend. Then we're playing the Senior Olympics. Played in the Senior Olympics in Kansas since 2000. I've won the gold medal in my age group in tennis 12 years in a row, and then have participated in the National Senior Olympics. They have every odd numbered years, every 2 years, they have National Senior Olympics, and I've gone to 6 of those.
Wow. So you say you help coach the high school tennis players.
Tennis team,
how many of them can you beat in tennis? All of them?
On a good day, I could beat all of them. There's 2 of them that we're pretty even.
And so, seeing somebody of your age out there playing tennis, keeping up with them, what mentally does that do for them? Does that?
I think it helps them. I think we kid around and we joke around but I have respect for them. They have respect for me. I think it's good for them to see that tennis is a lifetime sport. So it's not like baseball or football when you're done in college. Unless you're going to make a professional level, you're pretty much done. You can play tennis the rest of your life. So I think they see somebody 71 years old that's still competitive with them at that age. That it's a good deal, and it kind of inspires them to try to maybe achieve that too.
Yeah, that's definitely a good thing. So have you been exercising your whole life, or was there a certain point where you decided to start exercising every day, or has it been continuous throughout your whole life? Pretty
much. I started out as a kid. Baseball was my sport, and so I had my routine. I squeezed rubber balls to strengthen my arms and wrists to play baseball. Had school wherever I went. I bought, back in those days, had a big black rubber band about 4 inches wide that you could stretch and do that, and then I'd do push-ups and stuff to play baseball. And then when I went in the Army after 1 year junior college and played baseball in the Army, I mainly drank beer in the Army. When I got out of the Army, then I came to Emporia State, played baseball, and then taught high school, and I was assistant coach at Goddard for 5 years, and we didn't have a very good weight room, but I was in charge of the weight room, and that's when I started getting into more actual lifting weights, and had some weights at home and had my routine. So from the age of like 23, I've pretty much worked out all my life.
Awesome. And so how important do you think it is for the youth and them getting into exercising, even like the elementary to middle school age and up?
I think it's vitally important. I think that's one of the worst things they did was cut out PE from some of the programs, because you kids, with computers and electronic devices. You don't see kids out in the yard playing catch anymore, or even shooting baskets hardly anymore. They're inside, and so they got to get somewhere. I think, and some of them probably aren't going to. All they're going to do at home is to lay around, eat, and watch TV. And so I really think obesity is a tremendous problem in this country. I mean, if you go to restaurants and see families eating, and you see the parents and what they look like, and you see kids 8, 9 years old, and they're already on their way, and it's just all they're doing is eating. They're not exercising.
Yeah, it's a sad thing.
It is.
Do you make a conscious effort to eat healthy?
Yes, I haven't eaten any meat for 40 years.
Oh wow.
I became a vegetarian in 1972 when I was at the end of my first year of law school, and then for about 20 years I didn't eat. I was pretty strict. I ate the produce of animals, didn't eat the animals, and I didn't eat fish. And then I decided I wanted to cut down my cheese and some of that stuff, the bad cholesterol, so I started eating fish. And I had salmon and tuna to get protein. So, but I haven't eaten any pork, beef, or chicken for 40 years. And I try to watch my diet, not a lot of caloric intake, and coordinate with the exercise. They do now have a name for us now. They're called pescatarians if you eat fish, but you don't eat meat.
Do you have a lot of friends that are around your age that exercise with you or play tennis with you?
Not very many.
Not very many.
One, Dr. Milton, you're familiar with him. He used to be the tennis coach at the Emporia State University for 40 years.
I have not had the chance to meet him.
You probably ought to talk to him if you want to. If you ever need to talk to somebody else who's into, because he taught tennis and PE at Emporia State University for about 40 years.
Okay.
The Milton tennis courts are named after him.
Right. Yeah.
Been the Milton tennis courts. He's my tennis partner. He's the one who I play a lot of doubles with when we go to the national tournaments.
Oh, awesome.
And he's into keeping himself as fit as possible, and he's about 4 years older, almost about 4.5 years older than I am. He'll be 76 in August, I think. But he does. I go down to the gym, and you don't see very many people down there my age. You see some that are in their 50s and 60s maybe, but as far as playing tennis, Dr. Milton and I are about the only ones that play tennis in town anymore of adults.
Yeah. Do you try to encourage people that you meet or people in the office, things like that, to exercise?
Well, my ex-law partner, because I had to buy myself out of the partnership when I became the judge, Larry Putnam, he kind of became a vegetarian because I kind of inspired him, and he's been a vegetarian for 7 or 8 years now, and he runs all the time. He doesn't have an ounce of fat on him, and he runs and keeps in shape. He'll be close to 60, so he keeps himself in shape. And I don't try to impose my way of life on anybody. By example, I try to do it. And I think I'll be just people who see me and come up to me in gym and ask me how old I am, and then say, "Man, I hope I can." It makes me feel good because they say I kind of inspire them just by what I do, not by trying to convince them, just by what I do.
I can definitely see that.
Yeah.
Definitely understand that. What's the greatest thing that you feel, whether it's physically or mentally, from exercising on a daily basis?
It just, I believe in the quality of life, not the quantity of life. I don't want to live if I can't do what I want to do. And I feel like I can do everything now that I could when I was 35 or 40, and that's the way I want to be. I guess my goal is to die healthy. So, but to be able to do the things I want to physically, I have an 11-year-old granddaughter. I want to be able to see her grow and develop, and that was one of the things that inspired me about 50 years ago, or 45 years ago, to quit smoking, because I went in the Army and started smoking like everybody does. Every 50 minutes if they smoke break, so you start smoking. And then, but I was at Emporia State University taking a master's program, living in the dorm and by the track, and I said, I'm going to go out and see if I can run a quarter of a mile. Well, I got about the 2:20 mark and just gassed. And I said, if I had to run a quarter of a mile to save my kids, I couldn't do it. So I said, screw it, I'm not going to.